Welcome to the fantasy audiobook. My school has mutated and can be automatically upgraded. Chapter 1. Zunyang City, Mond University. In the principal's office, a young man sat. Am I transmigrating? The young man said to himself with confusion on his face. This young man's name is Yifeng, who has just crossed into this world. He was originally a fresh graduate student on Earth. Just one day after graduation, I was about to set off to look for a job. But when he woke up, he came to this parallel world, Blue Star, which is similar to Earth. This time he was not a student, but directly became the principal. After crossing over, he was still called Yifeng. The only thing that hasn't changed is that he's still an orphan. From memory, his parents died a year ago. The only thing left is this Mond University. Yifeng's father is the president and trustee of the university. Teaching and educating people was his father's lifelong dream. It is precisely because of this that this university was founded. When his father died, Yifeng took over the business after graduating from high school. However, how does he know how to manage the school? In 1 year, the school not only did not develop, but also declined a lot. After half a month, it's time to recruit. I am afraid that there will be no more students at all. Even if there are students, they can only choose the remaining students from other colleges. After realizing this, Yifeng felt a headache. This is a complete mess. If a university can't even recruit students, it's probably not far from closing down. At this moment, the phone in front of Yifeng rang. Hello, it's Teacher Wang, what's the matter? You want to resign? No salary. Okay then. After speaking, Yifeng hung up the phone. Another teacher resigned. This is not the first. Schools are declining and teachers are not developing. Some teachers with ideals will definitely find a way back. Maybe one day the school will close. By then, they will be unemployed. It's too late to find a way back. Yifeng couldn't say anything about it. I don't even have a chance. Teachers who resigned don't even want their salary. This made Yifeng even more worried. There is a shortage of teachers and it is difficult to recruit students. It is estimated that it will not be long before this university is completely cold. Just when Yifeng was troubled, a voice suddenly appeared in his ear. Ding, the troubles in the host's heart are detected, and the system is turned on. School upgrade system is opening. Ding dong, the system is turned on successfully. System, Goldfinger. Yifeng's troubles were swept away. He still knew that the traveler had Goldfinger. With the system, will you still worry about these little things? But soon, Yifeng was worried again. Although he has obtained the system, how can the system be used? Not even the instructions for use. Is it possible to directly help him keep those teachers who resigned? It was detected that the school was declining, and the school began to automatically upgrade. Congratulations to the host school for doubling the area. Congratulations to the host for obtaining an administrative office building. Congratulations to the host for obtaining 6 teaching buildings. Congratulations to the host for obtaining a map embassy. Congratulations to the host for obtaining 10 dormitory buildings. Congratulations to the host for getting a gymnasium. Congratulations to the host for obtaining a scientific research building. A series of voices appeared in Yifeng's ears. Can schools automatically upgrade? Got so many things. For a while, Yifeng didn't react. Is this the capability of the system? I have to say, this ability surprised Yifeng very much. After the surprise, Yifeng quickly checked the reward. The first sight is the proof of land title on the desk. He could be sure that this was something that was not there just now. Opening it, a smile appeared on Yifeng's face. Sure enough, the school's footprint has doubled. After upgrading, the school's footprint is close to those of top universities. He is very aware of the value of these lands. This is something money can't buy. With these documents, all these plots belong to him. After reading the school's doubled reward, but the rest are buildings, how will the system distribute it? This made Yifeng very curious. After waiting in the office for a while, he didn't hear the slightest movement. Yifeng is very puzzled. Do you want to collect it by yourself? In his previous life, he played a lot of construction games. The house can only be placed by walking to the open space. So he left the office and went outside. But as soon as he went out, he was stunned. There were people working on the construction in various places of the school. And the isolation section has been pulled. Are these people all created by the system? Yifeng was very puzzled. At this time, the system prompted a sentence in his mind. Yifeng understood in an instant. These buildings are all being constructed systematically. The architectural scenes I see now are all systematically projected using holographic imaging technology. That is to say, it doesn't exist at all. Fortunately, now is not the time for school to start, otherwise it will definitely scare people. Knowing this, Yifeng felt relieved. Fortunately, the building did not appear suddenly, otherwise it would definitely be suspected. Next, Yifeng watched 20 buildings grow at a speed visible to the naked eye. It was all completed in less than half a day. The old shabby university has been renovated. All buildings that were not there were rebuilt. All existing buildings have been upgraded. Even the administrative building where Yifeng's office is located has completely changed. The whole school can no longer see the desolate feeling before. Looking at the school that had changed, Yifeng could only say one thing in his heart. The system is awesome. It used to be a mess, but now it has completely changed. This gave Yifeng confidence in the future of Mond University. With this infrastructure, the University of Mond has the opportunity to grow. However, this is the first step. He still has a lot of problems to solve. For example, the issue of teacher resignation. For example, this year's admissions question. These problems need to be solved by him. At this moment, the sound of the system prompt appeared in Yifeng's ear again. Detecting the dilemma faced by the school, the administrative building began to automatically upgrade. The administrative building has been successfully upgraded, office efficiency plus 100, teacher's sense of belonging plus 100. Enrollment rate plus 100. After hearing this, Yifeng was stunned for a moment. The administrative building is automatically upgraded. Seeing the automatic upgrade of the administrative building, Yifeng was pleasantly surprised again. This time he clearly felt different. Because leveling up is not a bonus thing. Rather, it adds attributes to buildings. It was the first time that this kind of thing happened, which made Yifeng feel novel. So he quickly checked the benefits brought by the upgrade of the administrative building. Yifeng started to look at 3 attributes. Office efficiency plus 100. Teacher's sense of belonging plus 100. Enrollment rate plus 100. After reading it, he smiled. These 3 properties are really useful. Simple and rude. Now all Yifeng's troubles were swept away. The next day, come to your office early. A teacher will come to work today. There are still half a month to start recruiting new students, and the school must prepare in advance. The publicity work before enrollment and the reception of new students all need teachers to do. He couldn't have all the work done by a principal. The entrance to the University of Mond. After the school has been upgraded, not only the area has been expanded. Even the school gate is majestic. At this time, the 2 teachers were staring at the gate in a daze. Mr. Wang, is this our school? A middle-aged male teacher asked the female teacher beside him. Yes, yes, Teacher Wang also replied incredulously. They have only been out of school for a month, how can such a big change happen? It may be that the school has repaired the gate in order to recruit more students. After all, the gate is the facade of the school, let's go in. The male teacher explained. It is a common practice to use the holidays to make repairs to schools. Even if the school gate is demolished and rebuilt, it is not impossible. They know the situation in the school, and they do need to change some things. Both thought the idea sounded reasonable and went to school. But before they got far, the 2 were shocked again. Mr. Li, how do you explain this? Teacher Wang looked at the familiar and unfamiliar campus in front of her in shock. She couldn't believe it was the school she had stayed in for a few years. The male teacher beside him was silent. Explain. Explain shit. He couldn't explain it at all. Not only are there many more buildings on the entire campus, but even the original buildings have been completely renovated. Even the vegetation has been carefully repaired. How much will this cost? Isn't the school going downhill? Where did all that money come from? A series of questions appeared in the minds of the 2 teachers. The 2 teachers walked towards the administrative building with confusion. It's all so unreal. Entering the administrative building, they found their office without much effort. After the administrative building has been upgraded, although the decoration has become luxurious, the internal structure has not changed much. Mr. Wong, hit me, I suspect I'm dreaming. Mr. Lee still felt like he was dreaming. Snapped. Mr. Wong was not polite at all, and slapped Mr. Lee on the body. Does it hurt? Pain? Both were awake. Turns out all this is true. Soon, teachers began to come to the school one after another. All responded in the same way as the first two teachers. It didn't take long for the teachers in charge of schoolwork to arrive. The teachers are all in a daze in the office. The shock of coming to school this time was too great for them. At this time, the school radio rang. All the teachers who come to the school gather in the conference room on the 3rd floor. Yi Feng's voice appeared in each office. Hearing the sound, all the teachers woke up and walked towards the conference room. In less than 10 minutes, they were all assembled in the conference room. At this time, Yi Feng walked in. Everyone looked at Yi Feng. Doubtful eyes. They hoped to get an explanation from the principal. The school will become like this, the principal must know. Yi Feng stood on the stage with a smile on his face. I believe many teachers have noticed the changes in the school. This is what I asked the best construction company in the country to remodel. In the past year, the school has declined a bit, and I admit that there is my reason for it. But from now on, our school is going to make changes. Renovation is only the first step, our goal is to be a world-renowned school. Yi Feng said on stage. After hearing these words, everyone was stunned. But soon, everyone was excited. As teachers of the school, what they hope most is the development of the school. In this way, they will have better development. Originally, the teachers were not very optimistic about Yi Feng. After all, he was only 18 years old, and he had never even attended university. How can we manage a university well? But now, the school can have such a big change, but it can't be done without a certain courage. As for the world-famous schools that Yi Feng said, they just listen to them. The school can only develop better. World-famous schools, just think about it. However, it has given teachers a lot of motivation. Yi Feng saw that the mobilization was almost the same and began to arrange work. The admissions process Yi Feng is already familiar with. Develop enrollment plans, publicize, recruit local students. All these need to be done by the teacher. But this is not the first year. Teachers are familiar. Soon, the work was arranged. After the meeting, the teachers went to work with great enthusiasm. After an hour, Mr. Lee, your work is done very quickly. Why, you quickly check it, I have to report to the principal. Hey, Mr. Liu, you've also done it, isn't it usually the last one? I'm also surprised. Today's work went very smoothly and it was completed quickly. Such a thing is not with a teacher. The productivity of all teachers has more than doubled. And the more I work, the more energetic I feel, and I feel full of passion. Everyone was surprised and thought it was the reason for the new environment. Principal's office. Looking at the documents sent by the teachers, Yi Feng was very happy. It seems that the properties of the administrative building have taken effect. Office efficiency directly affects the work efficiency of teachers. Now the office efficiency has increased, and the teachers' work efficiency has also improved. It used to take a day, but now it's done in an hour. This work efficiency is really high. With such work efficiency, it is difficult for schools not to develop. This made Yi Feng look forward to the effects of the remaining two attributes. Under such efficient office efficiency, the pre-enrollment arrangements were completed in one morning. Admissions plan, publicity plan, and staffing arrangements for admissions. All arranged properly. If it was before, it would be impossible to finish it within 2 days. In order to reward these hardworking teachers, Yi Feng ordered a big meal for each teacher. During lunch, every teacher was very happy. It even feels like the whole person is tied to the school. Afternoon. Mr. Wang Jun, didn't you resign? Why did you come to school again? In the teacher's office, all the working teachers looked up at the male teacher who entered the office. Wang Jun is the teacher who called Yi Feng to resign yesterday. He happened to be at work today, so he came to pack up. But as soon as he entered the campus, he found that the school had completely changed. Not only did the campus get bigger, but there were also many more buildings. Most importantly, After he stepped into the administrative building, it was as if he had returned home. It's a feeling it's never been out before. In an instant, a feeling of regret continued to emerge from my heart. For some reason, he always felt that he should not leave here, should not leave this house. A strong sense of belonging arises spontaneously. Mr. Wang Jun, your things have been packed and put on the table next to you. The teacher who was sitting next to Wang Jun reminded him. Whoever said I was going to resign, I came to tell the principal about going back to work. Wang Jun said righteously. He had a very strong feeling in his heart that he must stay and work. Must stay. After speaking, he immediately rushed out of the office. Then came to the door of the principal's office. Knocked at the door. After getting Yi Feng's permission, he entered the office. Mr. Wang, is something wrong? Yi Feng still had some impressions of these teachers. Naturally know that this is the teacher who resigned yesterday. Principal, my resignation report has not been approved yet. I have decided not to resign and continue to work at the school. Wang Jun said anxiously. I'm afraid the principal has expelled him from the school. Not resigning. Teacher Wang, can you tell me the reason? Yi Feng felt a little strange. When I said my resignation yesterday, I was very firm. Why has it changed today? Principal, I've been working here for a few years and it feels like home. Coming back here today, I feel like I belong here and decided to stay and contribute to the school. Even if I fight to the last minute, I will never leave. No one can separate me from Mond University. Wang Jun said very seriously. And a military order was issued on the spot. Hearing this, Yi Feng already understood in his heart. It must be the administrative building. After the upgrade, 100 points of belonging have been added. This made all teachers have a deep affection for the school. Coming to school is like coming home. Very comfortable and comfortable. No teacher wants to leave such a place. Yi Feng was very happy. With this attribute, there will be no more teachers resigning one after another. Completely solve the problem that the school teachers will disappear. Any school, what are you fighting for? It's the power of teachers. Without a teacher, what is teaching? This time, Yi Feng has no worries at all. Mr. Wang, I already know your feelings for the school. Your resignation report has not been approved yet, so go back to work quickly. Yi Feng said to Wang Jun. The report is indeed not approved. He had a lot of work to do yesterday, so he has time to deal with the resignation report. No time today. Okay, I'll go out to work now. Wang Jun was very happy to go back to work. Preparations for the school have been arranged. The propagandists have also left. Their main target is several nearby cities. The staff is limited and cannot cover such a long distance. However, some people are promoting it on the internet. Although it is not as effective as the presence of personnel in person, the scope is relatively wide. Penguin Group, Post Bar, Weibo. These are staffed. Their role is to spread the words of Mond University. Promotion has been arranged. The next step is to wait for the admissions time to come. Soon, half a month has passed. During this period, the teachers have made the name of Mond University spread in several nearby cities. Although it is not a household name, it has made many people remember the name. However, it is hard to say whether it will apply to Mond University or not. Many people are hesitant. After all, in the past year, Mond University has left a bad impression. Enrolling in college is an important choice in life. This must be done with caution. In school, Yi Feng also received reports from teachers one after another. But he has no idea about the admissions situation. Although the school has changed now, but the time is too short. Many people don't know about this. Just relying on teacher propaganda will not achieve much effect at all. After all, everyone knows that the teachers of the propaganda will only talk about the good of the school. When no one goes out to publicize, they also tell the shortcomings of the school. Even if teachers bring school photos, their credibility doesn't increase much. So the recruitment situation is still a mystery. Now Yi Feng can only put his hope on the attributes obtained by upgrading the administrative building. One of the three attributes has an enrollment rate of +100. However, it is not yet known what the exact effect will be. Finally, it is time for students to fill in the volunteer day. Early this morning, Yi Feng found the teacher in charge of the admissions website. Whether the school can come back to life depends on today. The website for volunteering is open at 9 o'clock. At 8:30, Yifeng was already waiting with several teachers. Time passed little by little. Soon, it's 9 o'clock. Under the control of several teachers, he entered the admissions background of Mond University for the first time. They want to deal with the students who fill in the Mond University as soon as possible. Then count the number of people. Of course, the premise is that someone chooses Mond University. Several teachers stared at the data in the background and kept refreshing the website. But 10 minutes passed. There wasn't even a single one. Everyone's faces were very ugly. Is this year's admissions going to end badly? Just when the teachers were worried, Yifeng was very calm. He didn't believe it would be this way. 2 of the 3 attributes added to the administrative building have already been verified. He did not believe that Article 3 would fail. The enrollment rate has increased. Even if not many people are recruited, it will not be too bad. Mond University's enrollment target for this year is 4,000. They are not demanding, 50% is enough. Being able to recruit 2,000 people is the goal. However, according to the current situation, 2,000 people are somewhat difficult. In fact, it is not that the admissions attribute of the administrative building has failed, but that many people are still hesitating. Yifeng watched for a while and then left the admissions office. As soon as he left, several teachers began to discuss. Old son, what should I do? We won't be able to recruit students this year, right? I don't know. According to the current situation, I'm afraid there is no hope. We can't sit still like this. The school clearly has the momentum to develop, and it must not end like this. Yes, we can't recruit people. We will bring people over by ourselves. Now everyone is calling. If any relatives or friends want to go to college, call them all. Soon, the teachers agreed. They have to contribute to the school. All the admissions teachers are out. Hey, Xiaoyu, have you filled in your volunteer? I haven't filled it yet. It's great, then you listen to uncle, and hurry up and fill in the Mond University. Mond University is not good. Who said that? I tell you that Mond University is no worse than a first-class university. Okay, fill it in quickly, uncle won't lie to you. A teacher finishes calling his nephew and immediately calls the next one. Hello, Xiaoying, I'm your uncle. Hey, don't hang up, I'm really your uncle. Dozens of admissions teachers made phone calls one by one. Almost notified his relatives over and over again. Now Mond University is like their home, of course they have to do their best for it. This is the effect of the belonging attribute. Thanks to the efforts of the teachers, the admissions background of Mond University has finally improved. Although the growth is relatively slow, it can be regarded as the beginning of victory. In addition to the efforts of teachers, the school's enrollment rate attributes are also starting to take effect. Zunyang City, Hanyu Community. A boy is sitting in front of a computer, looking at the screen. Now is a critical moment to fill in the application, an important choice in life. In his hand, he held some university information that he had checked and recorded. Among them was a name that had been attracting him. This school is Mond University. Although there is a lot of negative news about Mond University online. But he had seen pictures of Mond University, which were very different from those circulating on the internet. And Mond University gave him a strange feeling, as if something was attracting him. Fill in Mond University, you must fill in Mond University. I don't know why, but the boy's heart began to slowly firm up. Then, without hesitation, fill in the volunteer application directly on the computer. His first choice was Mond University. The following volunteers are all filled in casually. Soon, he clicks submit, OK. Seeing that the report has been successfully filled in, the boy is relieved. At this time, his father came in. Xiaopeng, did you volunteer? Which university did you apply for? Xiaopeng's father asked his son. Fill it out, Mond University. Xiaopeng replied. After his father heard this, his face changed. What? You say it again. Chen Xiaopeng, you are crazy, don't you know that Mond University is about to close down? Why don't you discuss with me, what is the future of going to such a university? Xiaopeng's father said angrily. He is a university teacher himself and has some knowledge of Mond University. There are rumors in the education world that Mond University is about to close down. Teachers at the University of Mond are all preparing to change jobs. There is a teacher in their office from Mond, but now his son is jumping into the fire pit by himself. How could he accept it? And his son's grades are not low, even if he is almost a first-class university. Mond University, although the name is like a second-class university. But everyone knows that the current Mond is not even a third-rate. Chen Xiaopeng sat next to him and didn't dare to speak at all. He didn't know why just now, but he believed in Mond University very much. I even feel that this is the school that makes my future. Such things don't just happen in one place. Many students who have heard of the University of Mond do not consciously think of the University of Mond when filling out their application form. Mond felt completely different to them. All students feel that their future lies in Mond. In this way, many students filled out the Mond University. Many of these students have excellent grades and have no problem getting into top universities. After the parents of the students know, there is no way to change it. At this time, Mond University is in. Yi Feng returned to the office. Not long after he sat down, the teacher in charge of the admissions website ran over. "Principal, there are people, many people." The teacher gasped and reported to Yi Feng. "Don't worry, speak slowly." Yi Feng first let the reporting teacher stabilize. After adjusting for a while, the teacher who came to report has calmed down. "Principal, just now, many students filled in our school. And all of these students' grades met the standard, and some even exceeded the grades of top universities. The teacher who came to report will tell the situation in detail." Real. After Yi Feng heard it, he was very surprised. So he quickly used his computer to log on to the website. Soon, he saw the data in the background. At this time, the number has reached 160 people. In just a short while, there were so many people. And he found that the number is still increasing. The rate of increase is very fast. Seeing this, Yi Feng knew that the admissions attributes had come into play. So he quickly got the teachers to act. All those who meet the requirements of the school are admitted. Yi Feng has been paying attention to this matter for the whole day. At the end of the first day, the background data stopped at 500 people. In one day, 500 people were recruited. At this rate, it is entirely possible to meet expectations. The number of people filling in the report began to increase sharply the next day, directly increasing to 1,500 people. On the third day the number reached 3,000. On the fourth day, the enrollment quota was full. The enrollment target of 4,000 was fully recruited. Admissions teachers see that all indicators are full. The whole office started to boil. "It's full, my God, we're full. Hey, I dragged 10 students into the school." "What are 10 students? I took 50. "So much. How did you do it?" "I used to teach in a high school for the first year, just in time for that class of students to take the college entrance examination this year." The teachers began to discuss happily. Yi Feng was also in the office, and he was very happy with the result. Afterwards, he posted the admissions situation of Mond University to the group. The group Yi Feng posted is not the group of admissions teachers. It is the general group of teachers at Mond University. Even teachers who haven't come to school can see it. After this data was released, the entire group exploded. "I'm not mistaken, our school has recruited so many people this year. I remember that the school only recruited 3,500 people when it was at its highest. This year, isn't the principal sending data from other schools to motivate us? Don't you see that it says Mond University? Also, the principal is also in the group, so be careful when you speak." The whole group is talking about it. Yi Feng didn't come out to speak. The reason why he released the data is to give the teachers some confidence. After the last year, many people's idea is to mess around. There is no hope for the development of the school. If you can achieve certain results in enrollment now, you will be able to show hope to teachers. This is very important for the development of the school. Yi Feng just took this incident as an episode and didn't take it to heart at all. In school, he still has a lot of things to deal with. Enrollment is over. There's a lot more to come. Next, they need to process the profile of admitted students. Then, according to the information, the admission letter is issued to the students. Next is the reception of new students. These all need to be dealt with. However, as long as he explained these things, the teachers would naturally handle them. These process teachers are more familiar than Yifeng, so there is no need to say too much. 3 days later, Mond University began to issue admission letters to students uniformly. After doing this, they will have a rest period of half a month. Thanks to the efficient work of the teachers, the preparatory work for the start of the school was completed within a few days. Yifeng didn't have to drag the teachers to stay in the school. While the other school teachers were still busy, Mr. Mond had a short break. Time flies, September is coming. The registration time for new students is coming soon. On this day, Director Zhou, who was in charge of the reception of new students, came to Yifeng's office. "Headmaster, there is one thing for you to decide," Director Zhou said to Yifeng. "What's the matter? Is it related to the reception of freshmen?" Yifeng asked. "That's right, I'm going to arrange for teachers to go to various stations or airports to receive new students. But our school doesn't have enough school buses, so we can't arrange them at all," Director Zhou reported to Yifeng. "That's it." After hearing this, Yifeng fell into deep thought. It is indeed a good idea to go to the station to receive a new student. When he was in college in his previous world, he hoped that a school bus would be able to accommodate him. After all, the students are not familiar with the route when they go to an unfamiliar city. And with a lot of luggage, it is very inconvenient. There is a phenomenon of taxi ripping off in every city. Especially these new students, it is the primary goal. Having a school bus will make students feel more at home in the school. Yifeng knew this. But the point is, the school has no money. The school has exhausted all the funds last year. Although there are 20 more buildings, they are all rewarded by the system. He didn't pay a penny. There is simply no money to buy a school bus right now. Just when Yifeng was embarrassed, the sound of the system sounded in his ears. The school parking lot detected the school's plight and began to automatically upgrade. Congratulations to the host for getting 20 King Long buses. Congratulations to the host for obtaining 30 campus sightseeing cars. The system is awesome, Yifeng exclaimed in his heart. It's really what you want. Director Zhou, I have already thought about what you said. So people have bought 20 passenger cars. You can stop and take a look. If it's not enough, you can apply to me, Yifeng said to Director Zhou. He knew from the system just now that the bus was already parked in the parking lot. Already purchased. Director Zhou is very strange. He had just been in the parking lot this morning and there were only 2 passenger cars. When did the principal buy it? Director Zhou left the principal's office with doubts. After leaving, he came to the school's parking lot. As soon as he walked into the parking lot, he saw 20 brand new King Long buses parked here. There are also 30 campus sightseeing cars nearby. Seeing this, Director Zhou was full of shock. A passenger car costs hundreds of thousands, and 20 cars cost 7 or 8 million. With the addition of 30 campus sightseeing cars, the cost has exceeded 10 million. In order to receive students, they directly put out tens of millions. There are few schools that can have such great courage. That is, those old and first-class colleges and universities have such strong strength. But the principal took it out without blinking. Would such a school have no future? Director Zhou completely removed the previous idea. The university has changed a lot these days. He thought of what Yifeng said before. Make Mond University a world-renowned university. At first, it was just a motivational speech. I don't know why, but at this moment he faintly felt. Yifeng can do it. These 20 school buses are enough for him to carry out the next plan. It can even make the plan more perfect. 30 campus tour buses will also be included in his plans. At the beginning of the semester, students experience the most comprehensive service of Mond University. Time passes day by day. Soon, it's time for new students to report. August 31st. The whole city was very lively that day. 3 universities in Zunyang City opened on the same day. Traffic at train stations and airports began to surge. The reception staff of Mond University were waiting early in the morning at several important places in the city. No less than 4 coaches were arranged at each location. As soon as Mond's students exited the train station, they were greeted by a huge banner. Mond University Freshman Reception. The banner is in the most prominent place and can be seen at a glance. As soon as students leave the station, they can board the bus arranged by the school directly with the admission letter. The students were very happy to hear about this kind of treatment. I was still a little worried. After all, Mond University has a bad reputation on the internet. I feel a lot more at ease now. When they got off the bus at the gate of Mond University, everyone would be shocked by the majestic gate. Seeing this scene, the students knew one thing. Sure enough, the internet is full of scams. Does this look like it's going out of business? The students walked into the school gate with excitement. From the gate, they have seen the difference of Mond University. Now my heart is full of expectations for this place to live for 4 years. The students were carrying heavy luggage, and before they took 2 steps, they saw a campus sightseeing car parked on the side of the road. These are for students. On the school bus, each student was given a map of the school. As you can see from the map, Mond University is bigger than expected. It takes a lot of time to walk from the school gate to the freshman registration office. In this hot summer, just doing any activity will make you feel uncomfortable. Not to mention walking to the freshman reporting office with heavy luggage. Few students are willing to do this. The campus sightseeing bus is really in line with the students' wishes. So everyone began to line up to take the bus under the arrangement of the reception teacher. 30 campus sightseeing cars are all running around the campus. There is no such thing as no car. Even if you have to wait, it will not exceed a minute. Students can ride comfortably to the new student reporting office. Next is the reporting process for new students. It is nothing more than paying tuition fees, assigning dormitories, receiving campus cards and so on. The tuition fee of Mond University is charged according to the national requirements, which can be accepted by normal families. And the dormitory building rewarded by the system has been put into use. Yifeng did not charge more tuition fees because of the school upgrade. Mond University has set up 10 reporting points to not keep students waiting too long. The teacher in charge of the reception of the freshmen really took all aspects into consideration. This is definitely the most comfortable way to report freshmen. The freshman reporting point is very close to the dormitory building. After students have collected their belongings, they can go to find their own dormitory. If you want to talk about the place where students look forward to the most in the university, it must be the school dormitory. This is the most direct measure of how good a school is. After all, students live in dorms for 4 years. No one wants to live in a messy place. Even if the classmates meet in the future, the most discussion is the dormitory environment. As for teaching quality, this is a topic that students automatically skip. Who wouldn't expect better for such an important place? In this way, the students began to look for their own dormitory. Before entering the dormitory, my heart was definitely uneasy. Soon, the students came to the dormitory building. Below the boys' dormitory, a dozen boys gathered below. Everyone is looking at the dormitory building. Downstairs, only the exterior can be seen, and there is no such shabby feeling. Instead, it looks very luxurious, as if it was newly renovated. Just look at the exterior and see nothing. The most important thing is the internal facilities. So a dozen boys entered the dormitory together. One of the boys lives on the first floor. No one was in a hurry to go upstairs, they were all at the door waiting for the boy to open the door. The dormitories are all the same, and if you look at the dormitory on the first floor, you will know what you are like. Surrounded by so many people, the boy who opened the door felt a little stressed. Opening the door is much smaller. The dormitory door opened slowly, and everyone looked inside. No, it's better than my family's. Wait, let me open my eyes, I suspect this is all an illusion. Seeing the appearance of the dormitory, all the boys were shocked. This is a dormitory, it's a high-end apartment. Air conditioner, washing machine, water heater, separate toilet. It even has a bathroom. Except for not being able to cook, everything else is very complete. You will never see such a dormitory in any school. After reading it, more than a dozen boys took their luggage and left. They can't wait to see their dormitory. When the students finished visiting their dormitories, one thing became more certain in their hearts. There are scams all over the internet. Many people are online at Mond University. Say bad things about Mond University. People once thought that Mond University was very bad. Some even say that Mond's dormitory is not as good as their toilet. Will your toilet be so luxurious? So everyone has the same idea. Those who discredited Mond University must be the school's senior sisters and seniors. The purpose is not to let people repay Mond. They will have exclusive access to Mond's resources. Black belly, really too black belly. Before you know it, the seniors and sisters have taken the blame. If they found out, they would definitely complain. Now Mond has undergone earth-shaking changes. It was no longer the Mond they remembered. After all, they haven't started school yet, so they don't know what happened to Mond. If they saw the current Mond, they would never say anything wrong. On the first day of the freshman report, everyone was busy. After all, there is a lot to prepare for. The campus environment also needs to be familiar with. In the evening, students become active online. Especially in the high school group, it is even more lively. At this time, Chen Xiaopeng was lying in his dormitory. The school gave him too many surprises today. When school started, his father was still angry that he had signed up for Mond University. Even the freshmen did not come to see him at the beginning of the school year. He is happy now. It's so right to come here. It's hard to find a second home in such a comfortable environment. At this moment, his cell phone began to ring. The high school group started to get lively. There are many schools opening today, so many students are reporting today. Now they are talking about their school. I was exhausted today, and I ran a long way with a suitcase. Me too, a lot of people today just waited for an hour for a taxi. Wow, it's too dark to take a taxi. I'll ask for 50 for 2 kilometers. I am the same, very tired, but the dormitory of our school is really good, and it is worthy of being a first-class university. By the way, how is Chen Xiaopeng? I heard that he went to Mond University. At Sheyan Xiaopeng, please share photos of the dormitory. When the students talked about Chen Xiaopeng, they immediately thought of Mond University. When he first learned about this, his classmates were surprised for a long time. With such a high score, go to a rubbish school. There's a hole in the brain. Now everyone wants to see what the legendary Mond University looks like. Chen Xiaopeng understood what the students meant. It's just like trying to make fun of him. So Chen Xiaopeng took 2 photos and sent them to the group. Soon, a screen full of question marks appeared in the group. Chen Xiaopeng sent the photos of the dormitory to the high school group. But everyone's reaction was very strange. Or, they simply don't believe that this is the dormitory of Mond University. Chen Xiaopeng, are you posting an online picture? I think it is too. Hurry up, send out some actual, and send some network pictures. That's right, it's not because the dormitory is too bad to post it. This picture on the net is a photo of that school. The dormitory is really luxurious, much better than my first-class university. Don't think about it, there is no such school, it must be fake. No one in the group believed that this was the photo of the dormitory taken by Chen Xiaopeng. Seeing this, Chen Xiaopeng smiled. Say I'm looking for a network map. This was obviously just filmed. However, he looked up at the dormitory. He wouldn't believe it if he hadn't seen it with his own eyes. Today is the first day of the freshman report, and his roommate hasn't arrived yet. He can enjoy this luxurious dormitory by himself. In order to prove that what he posted was not an online picture, Chen Xiaopeng took a selfie with the dormitory as the background. Then he posted the photo to the group again. Soon, a series of shocked expression packs appeared in the group. Because this is Chen Xiaopeng's selfie, it can't be a net picture at all. And the angle has also changed. Because of this, everyone was shocked. Is Mond University really so luxurious? Isn't it said on the internet that Mond University is about to close down? So this is true. With the conditions of this dormitory, it can definitely crush a first-class university. Chen Xiaopeng, you won't move out on the first day of school, right? The dormitory environment is too bad to live in. Classmates from top universities still do not believe that this is Chen Xiaopeng's dormitory. He went to a first-class university. How could it be worse than a school that was about to close down? This made him very unbalanced. Chen Xiaopeng won't be accustomed to him sharing a position. The classmates of the first-class universities shut up. Because Chen Xiaopeng's location shows the dormitory building of Mond University. To be sure, this is the dormitory building of Mond University. So the classmates were once again shocked. At the same time, the object of discussion for everyone has become Mond University. Some even asked how much the accommodation costs at Mond University. The price of such a dormitory must be scary. If the price is high, they will feel more comfortable in their hearts. After all, you get what you pay for. Chen Xiaopeng was very generous and sent out his bill of payment. Seeing this, all the students are sour. This price is too cheap. The accommodation fee of Mond University, among all universities, can only be ranked in the middle. However, the environmental facilities are top-notch. I am afraid that it can be compared with the royal schools abroad. This is simply heaven. Some classmates regretted it. If you don't report to Mond University, you will lose a lot. Especially listening to the noisy air conditioner next to them, they could only silently turn off their mobile phones. Otherwise, they will have the idea of dropping out and taking the exam again. This kind of thing doesn't just happen to one person. All the freshmen who have arrived at Mond are sharing with their classmates. The facilities of Mond University, the accommodation of Mond University, the environment of Mond University. Especially after getting off at the station, the service to the new student reporting point. All become the envy of students from other schools. Compared with Mond University, they don't see any bright spots in any of their own schools. For a time, Mond University was on fire. In particular, the posts on the internet that smeared Mond University have become the object of public venting. I don't know how it was in the past, but now everyone sees that this is smearing Mond University. Many believe that they are being misled by these posts. Such a great university will be missed. It's too late to regret now. Principal's office. Yi Feng was browsing the information on the internet at this time. Seeing those scolded posts, Yi Feng smiled. I believe that it won't be long before Mond's image will be completely restored. He didn't pay attention to this for too long. There was another thing for him to deal with. It's a matter of freshman training. Military training clothing, military training instructors, military training venues. These need him to solve. As for the instructor, he has asked the teacher to contact the education department. The Department of Education provides military-trained instructors to universities. Now the country is very important to the military training of college students. After all, they are the future of the country. Without a good body, how can they become pillars? To prevent some schools from coping, the education department will be in charge of the instructors' affairs. And the military training plan will be strictly implemented. This year is the first year of implementation, and it will definitely be very strict. Many schools are reluctant, but they dare not object. The current military training is also a kind of assessment. Failed in the first year, and continued to train with freshmen in the second year of sophomore year. If you fail 4 years of college, you won't even get a diploma. So Yi Feng doesn't have to worry about the instructor. Now it's a matter of clothing. Uniforms are required for military training. But Mond University was not prepared at all. Now there is a military training clothing procurement plan on his desk. It just hasn't been approved yet. Because he knows, it has not been approved now. Yi Feng was also the principal for the first time. Many issues are simply impossible to consider so comprehensively. A negligence, there will be the current predicament. It's not because the school doesn't have enough money. The tuition fees charged for a single day are worth millions. There must be enough money to buy military training uniforms. But not enough time. 4,000 freshmen, each with 2 sets of clothing. 8,000 sets of costumes to be made in 2 days. There is simply no factory nearby that can do it. Even if factories in other provinces are made, delivery will take time. This made Yi Feng a little embarrassed. Just then, the sound of the system appeared. The school logistics warehouse detected the plight of the school and began to automatically upgrade. Congratulations to the host for obtaining 10,000 sets of military training uniforms. The school stadium detects that the school is about to carry out military training activities and starts to automatically upgrade. The stadium is successfully upgraded, the training effect is +30, the fatigue value is -20, and the endurance value is +20. Hearing the system's voice, Yi Feng felt a little excited. Logistics warehouses and stadiums are automatically upgraded. 10,000 sets of military training uniforms can completely solve the problem of military training uniforms at Mond University. These military training uniforms have all been placed in the warehouse. It can be used anytime. The first problem was solved. Yifeng began to pay attention to the stadium. After the stadium upgrade, there are no bonus items. But there are 3 more properties. Yifeng has experienced the importance of attributes. If it weren't for the 3 attributes of the administrative building, Mond University would not be what it is now. Maybe not even a few students are recruited. Now that the stadium has properties again, Yifeng must be curious. So he started looking at the 3 attributes of the stadium. After reading it, Yifeng understood. These 3 attributes are of great benefit to student military training. The first training effect. The effect of student training will be improved. Military training is to strengthen the body and cultivate the discipline of the students. With attribute bonuses, students' training can achieve twice the result with half the effort. This is good news for students. The latter 2 attributes are all to make the training of students easier. When students train, the biggest obstacle is fatigue. Now as long as I'm on the training ground, I don't get tired so easily. The same is true for stamina. Can increase students' stamina. However, these attributes will only take effect in stadiums. Leaving the stadium will lose the attribute bonus. After reading the 3 attributes, Yifeng decided to leave. The venue for this training is the stadium. In fact, he also wanted the students to go to the army for military training. But Mond University does not have such strength. Only some special first-class universities have such treatment. There is no other way but to train at school. Now that the stadium has attribute bonuses, it is definitely the most suitable place. Mond's stadium is very large. There are 2 large football fields, 4 small football fields, and 6 basketball courts. As well as badminton courts, volleyball courts and more. These are not system rewards, they were all built when the school was founded. But when the school is upgraded, these have some changes. The facilities are absolutely the best, and the area has also expanded a lot. The original area of Mond University was more than 2,000 acres. After all, when Yifeng's father was alive, this was already a second-rate university. After upgrading, it now covers an area of more than 4,000 acres. Although it is not the largest university in terms of area, it is not much different from the first-class universities. The area has been expanded, and other facilities have also changed relatively. Stadium is one of them. And the system also rewarded a stadium, which is also within the scope of the stadium. In other words, training in the gym can also get attribute bonuses. The current stadium is fully enough for 4,000 people to train. The matter was resolved. Yifeng went to rest at ease. The first day of freshman reporting is over. The next morning, Mond University has gained a lot of popularity due to the addition of freshmen. The school was lively in the early morning. Some students keep exercising every day, so the stadium is where students are most active. When they arrived at the new school, of course, the students went to the stadium to experience it. Lu Hao is one of them. He entered Mond University with a grade of nearly 6%. Such grades are more than enough to go to a first-class university. But he enrolled at Mond University. Even he himself didn't know what he was thinking at the time. When I came here, I realized that I really came here. Even if he was given another chance to choose now, he would still come to Mond. Lu Hao has the habit of exercising. Get up early every day to run. Today just happened to feel the stadium of the University of Mond. Soon after the warm-up, I started running laps on the playground. A lap is the standard 400 meters. According to Lu Hao's physical fitness, jogging can last about 10 laps. Among college students, it's already pretty good. When Lu Hao started, he didn't care. 1 lap, 2 laps. But when he ran 5 laps, he still didn't feel tired. This made Lu Hao feel very strange. However, he did not stop. But when he ran 10 laps, he finally found something wrong. Normally, after 10 laps, he could no longer run. But now I just feel a little tired. Is it because of the new school? Lu Hao couldn't help thinking in his heart. So he continued to run. He wanted to see how far he could get. 11 laps. 12 laps. By the time he ran to the 15th lap, Lu Hao was already very tired. But even so, he ran 5 extra laps. 5 laps is 2 kilometers. This is not an easy breakthrough. Lu Hao was very surprised. Coming to a new school, my physical fitness has improved. It's not just him, anyone who works out at the stadium feels the same way. Compared to before, the results of exercise are much better. And it just got easier. This is another surprise for the students of the University of Mond. The second and last day of freshman reporting. Today there are still students entering Mond University one after another. Some students with ideas have already started to be guides on campus. It's a pre-training exercise. At 4 o'clock in the afternoon, the student report of the University of Mond was reported to the president's office. Yi Feng read the report again. It was found that most of the students had already completed the registration. Only a few other students have yet to arrive at school. Maybe something was delayed. However, this has no impact on the school, and it is enough to let the relevant teachers be responsible. The reporting is basically over. The next thing to do is to prepare students for military training. Yi Feng notified the teacher in charge of the logistics warehouse and asked the students to start receiving military training uniforms in a class. After the teacher in the logistics warehouse received the notification, the whole person was stunned. Military uniform. Where's the military uniform from? He didn't even know that there were already 10,000 more sets of military training uniforms in the warehouse. Today, he did not enter the warehouse to check. But the school has informed him that he can only go to the warehouse to see how much stock is left. Every year there will be some leftovers. Now I can only turn it out and see how many sets I can get together. Fortunately, the styles are the same every year, and there will be no mess. But after he got to the warehouse, the whole person was stupid. What's the situation? Where do these multi-military uniforms come from? 9,999. 10,000. The teacher who manages the warehouse counts the military training uniforms in the warehouse. A full 10,000 sets of military training uniforms. For the new military training, it is completely enough. But he was still struggling with one thing. Where did these military uniforms come from? As an administrator, he didn't even know about it. But it doesn't matter. Since the school knows about this, it means that it is not his management dereliction of duty. Soon, the counselors of each class were notified. The counselor brought the students in the class to collect the military training uniform. Receipt is by class. It won't mess up. And the system has been very user-friendly to divide all military training uniforms according to the class. This can save a lot of time. The extra 2,000 sets are spares. After all, there will be students whose clothes are not suitable and can be changed at that time. Mond University has 4,000 freshmen. In 6 colleges. School of Mechanical Engineering, School of Information Engineering, School of Finance and Economics, School of Medicine, School of Art, School of Civil Engineering. These 6 colleges also have different majors. After all, there are 80 classes in total. 50 people per class. This military training is also divided into 80 teams. Because everything was ready, the military training uniforms were distributed to each class within an hour. It is then distributed to each class. This saves a lot of time and doesn't mess up. Just as Mond University was preparing for military training, Zhunyang University, not far away, is also holding a meeting. Zhunyang University is one of the 3 universities in Zhunyang City. And it is a first-class key university in Zhunyang City. There will also be more teaching resources. This time, the number of admissions is 1,000 more than that of Mond University. At this time, Zhunyang University is holding the freshman reception summary meeting. Feng Dahai, the president of Zhunyang University, sat at the front of the conference room and listened to the report. Principal, our enrollment target for this time is 5,000, the actual enrollment is 4,000, and the number of registered students is 3,900. The director of the admissions office reported on Feng Haihui. After hearing this, Feng Dahai nodded. This is almost what he expected. Although it is a first-class university in Zhunyang City, the enrollment has never been full. The top universities have their own score lines, generally higher than the national line. However, Zhunyang University is already on par with the national line. It is already the tail end of a crane of a first-class university. But there was still no way to get the crowd full. Filling in the Zhunyang University students, either the scores are not enough, or the number of people who are online is not enough. As long as it can be online, it has been admitted. But there are about 4,000 people every year. Feng Dahai is used to this. So he wasn't angry with the enrollment numbers. Director Liu, what's going on with the reception of the freshmen? Feng Dahai asked the person in charge of reception for new students next to him. Hearing the principal's question, Director Liu looked very embarrassed. No, nothing, everything is normal. Director Liu replied. He really didn't want to recall the experience of these 2 days. Especially at the station, watching the school buses of Mond University drive away one after another. Freshmen often ask him, where is the school bus in our school? He didn't know how to answer at all. The treatment of a first-class university is not as good as that of a second-class university. It's embarrassing to say it. For this matter, many teachers have responded to him. But what can he do? There are only 5 school buses in the school, and it is impossible to pull them all. You can't pull some people, and the rest should take a taxi. The resentment of the students would definitely be greater. As for reporting this matter to the principal, it was simply a waste of effort. Will the school give out millions for freshmen? This is simply not possible. Therefore, Director Liu is reluctant to mention it. When Feng Dahai heard Director Liu's report, he could not help frowning. He knew there must be something going on here, but Director Liu didn't say it. But Feng Dahai didn't say anything. I'm going to talk to Director Liu in private. By the way, Director Wang, how is the enrollment situation at the nearby Mond University? Feng Dahai asked Director Wang, who was in charge of external information. When he asked this question, the corners of his mouth rose slightly. Zunyang University is incomparable with those first-class universities. But it is still much stronger than second-tier universities like Mond. Every year he asks, and now there is a big problem at Mond University. It is a miracle to recruit 2,000 people this year. I asked one of Mond's admissions teachers, and it was said that it was full. Director Wang said, is it full? How much is it full? Feng Dahai said with a dark face. 4,000. Seeing the headmaster's expression, Director Wang was a little afraid to answer. After all, Zunyang University only recruited 4,000 people. Hearing this number, not only Feng Dahai, but also other teachers were surprised. According to Mond's enrollment numbers over the years, it is about 3,000. Doing more is only 3,500 a year. This year, Mond's reputation has plummeted, and there is even more news that it is going to close down. Even in Zunyang University, many teachers from Mond came to look for jobs. It can be seen that the rumors are definitely not false. Even if it is not affected, it is impossible to recruit more. How did these 4,000 freshmen come from? Director Wang, are you sure it's 4,000? Did Mond lower the score line? Feng Dahai thought of a possibility. According to Mond's current situation, he can only lower the score line and recruit students who are not admitted by other schools. Otherwise, how could it be possible to recruit so many? It's definitely 4,000, and the score line hasn't been lowered, it's higher than in previous years. Director Wang delivered a heavy message. What? Impossible. Is it full for raising the score line? Is this Mond? Director Wang isn't joking, aren't Mond's teachers looking for jobs? After Director Wang said this information, everyone did not believe it. In fact, Director Wang didn't want to believe it when he first heard the news. But the person who told him was a good friend for many years and would not lie to him. To verify, he contacted Mond's teachers who wanted to change jobs. But no one wanted to come. And the attitude is very firm. This made him have to believe. Director Wang, look into the cause, what happened? Dismiss. After Feng Dahai finished speaking, he left directly. It can be seen from his attitude that he is very determined to investigate Mond University. Chapter 11. Yi Feng didn't know yet that Mond University had been targeted by the university next door. At this time, something big is also happening in Mond. The military training instructor is here. Hearing the teacher's report, Yi Feng brought the school's teachers to greet him. As soon as I walked to the gate of the school, I saw a teacher from Mond University coming with a neat team. Captain Shen, this is Yi Feng, the principal of our school. Principal, this is Captain Shen, the leader of the military training instructor. The teacher in charge of reception introduced the two of them. Yi Feng looked at Captain Shen for a while. It can be seen from his temperament. It must have come from the army. These instructors invited by the education department will not reveal too much information. They all have a unified title, that is, instructors. Add at most one last name. When Yifeng was looking at Captain Shen was also looking at Yifeng. His first impression of Yifeng was that he was young. This is definitely the youngest university president he has ever seen. Yifeng looked less than 20 years old. That's the age of a college student. If there weren't so many teachers here, he certainly wouldn't believe it. However, this has nothing to do with Captain Shen. He is only responsible for training students, and the rest has nothing to do with him. After 20 days, they will leave the school. May never meet again. Captain Shen, welcome you to Mond. Yifeng welcomed Captain Shen. Headmaster Yi, hello. Captain Shen replied to Yifeng. Captain Shen, the instructors, accommodation has been arranged, please come with me. Yifeng didn't ask much. There are some things that shouldn't be asked, and it's useless to ask. Captain Shen nodded and let Yifeng lead the way. Yifeng walked in front, and Captain Shen followed behind with the team. Soon, they came to a dormitory building. This is a new dormitory building, and students have not yet been accommodated. Now just let the instructor stay. This time, the instructor team arranged for 100 people to come. A room for 4 people was arranged quickly. These people are strictly disciplined, and there is no need to worry about damaging the things in the dormitory. Yifeng was also by his side when Captain Shen arranged the instructors. When seeing the dormitory environment, even Captain Shen was stunned for a moment. Then he looked at Yifeng. Principal Yi, you don't need to treat us special, just the same environment as the students. Captain Shen said to Yifeng. The accommodation here is great. So he thought it was specially arranged by Yifeng. They are here to train students, not to enjoy themselves. No special treatment at all. And no matter how bad the environment is, they have lived there. Will not dislike the student dormitory. Captain Shen, you misunderstood. This is the accommodation environment for our students. It doesn't get any worse than this. Yifeng said with a smile. The dormitory buildings of Mond University are already what they are now. Even the dormitory buildings of the old students have changed. So if you want to live anywhere else, there really isn't any. Is this the student accommodation? Captain Shen said in surprise. This is not the first time he has been a team leader. Even went to many famous schools. But I have never seen such a good accommodation. If Yifeng didn't say it very seriously, he really wouldn't believe it. Now that Yifeng has said so, it is not easy for him to refuse. As for whether it is the same as the students' dormitory environment, we will know when we check the dormitory in the future. After making arrangements, Yifeng left immediately. Take a night off today and officially start military training tomorrow. The next morning, 8 in the morning, 4,000 freshmen gathered in the stadium. Counselors for each class are responsible for integrating the team. 80 teams in total. Name them with numbers. The students got up early in the morning. All changed into neat camouflage uniforms and assembled at the stadium. Soon, 80 teams were standing together neatly. Because it was the first day of military training, the freshmen were in high spirits and even had some expectations. From today, they are a real college student. After 3 years of hard work in high school, isn't it just to be able to stand here? This is the idea of all freshmen. After all, they haven't gone through college military training. This is their first class in college. After the students stood up, the instructors walked in a neat pace. 80 people were divided and stood in front of the 80 teams. From now on, they will be the instructors of the team. The remaining 20 were responsible for documenting disciplinary issues. Military training also requires assessment. Students who violate discipline will be dealt with seriously. Even if he fails directly, he will re-enter military training next year. This year is definitely going to be a tough year. The team was assembled, and the principal announced the start of military training. Yifeng stood on the high platform in front of the team. Appeared for the first time in front of a new student. After seeing Yifeng, all the students were surprised. Unexpectedly, their headmaster turned out to be so young. Not much different from their age. Although there are rumors on the internet, but if you actually see it, you will still be surprised. On stage, I now announce that the military training for the freshmen of Mond University has officially begun. Yi Feng's voice reached everyone's ears through the loudspeaker. All the students applauded as the principal announced. At this time, the instructors turned to look at the team they were going to lead. One team, follow me. Team 2, keep up. All 3 teams have it, let's go together. 80 teams were taken away by the instructors one by one. In the future, these students will be in charge of the instructors. In 20 days, the day when the students suffer will also come. After Yi Feng announced, he did not leave directly. He also wanted to see the state of the students on their first day. Soon, he came to a team not far away. At this time, the instructor is standing up. From today, you are in my hands. In the next 20 days, you will not have a comfortable time. I don't want you to yell tired during my training. The instructor said very seriously. Hearing these words, the students' faces were a little scared. After all, this is the first time to experience these things. However, there are some more daring students. Instead, there is some expectation. Yi Feng listened to it for a while, then left. He also experienced military training. It is best to believe what the instructor says. Because they are not kidding. As for what happens during training, I don't know. There are many ways for instructors to torture people. After Yi Feng left the stadium, he returned to the office. As soon as I sat down, I heard a knock on the door. Please come in. As soon as he finished speaking, a female teacher in her 30s walked in. This female teacher is Xie Lan, the financial director of Mond University. Director Xie, what's the matter? After Yi Feng saw Xie Lan, he asked. Principal, the tuition fees collected this time have been counted. Xie Lan put the statistical report in front of Yi Feng. Report to Yi Feng at the same time. All 4,000 students have already registered. A total of 28 million tuition fees were received, of which 24 million was paid through online banking and the other 4 million was in cash. The funds have now reached the company's account. Xie Lan introduced Yi Feng in detail. Okay, thank you, Director. Yi Feng looked it over in detail to make sure there was no mistake. No trouble, this is what I should do. After Xie Lan finished reporting, he left directly. Yi Feng looked at the report in his hand with a smile on his face. The school finally has money. When he took over, the school was already empty. If there is no system, I am afraid that it will not be able to survive now. Now he is not afraid. Even without the help of the system, the school can hold out for a while. Yi Feng also has a bottom line in his heart. On the stadium, the training of the students by the instructors also began. The first item of training is to stand in the military posture. University military training is to cultivate the perseverance and collectivism of hard work and hard work. This is the meaning of military training. Standing in the military posture can exercise the will of the students and obliterate some lazy thoughts in the past. And I can feel the rigor of the military and change the mentality of high school. College and high school are no longer the same. Many high school thoughts need to be changed. 4,000 students stood neatly on the stadium. It is now 9 o'clock in the morning, and the sun is already in the sky. Although the temperature is not very high, it already feels a little sunburnt. But under the sun, not a single student dared to move. During military training, the emphasis is on one person making a mistake and all being punished. This is the spirit of collectivism. No one wants everyone else to suffer because they are alone. What's more, they don't feel tired at all now. Soon, half an hour passed. The instructor looked at the time and felt that it was almost the same. The first training, the time is too long, the students can't stand it. Training students here is not the same as training them themselves. Be sure to grasp a degree. Everything has to be done gradually. The safety of students is also very important. In fact, the first time I stood for half an hour, the time was not short. Usually about 10 minutes, but the instructor saw that the students didn't react at all and could only prolong the time. Otherwise, the prestige cannot be established. But half an hour later, the students still did not respond. However, the instructor did not dare to continue. Everyone has it, rest in place, and move hands and feet. The instructor gave the order. Hearing the instructor's order, the students looked at each other. That's it. It was very scary at first. I don't feel anything when I train. But everyone is not stupid, and no one will stand up and say that the amount of training is not enough. The training can be a little easier, and of course they are more willing to see it. Their expressions have been noticed by the instructor. This made the instructor a little puzzled. Is this still a college student? He remembered that when he first joined the army, he trained for the first time in the military posture. For half an hour, he felt that the whole person was going to be useless. But now, the students must not respond. Was it really that bad at the time? This made the instructor a little suspicious of himself. He has been training for a long time and is very physically fit. Standing here for more than half an hour, there is no feeling at all. Therefore, the attributes on the stadium, the instructors simply cannot feel it. I just thought that the students were in good physical condition. After the break, the training continues. The freshmen's military training is 8 hours a day. Today is the first day, not according to the time. From the next day, 6 to 10 in the morning and 3 to 7 in the morning. This way you can miss the most poisonous times of the sun. The September sun is no joke. And Zunyang City belongs to the south. Even the instructor could not last an hour under the noon sun. The possibility of heat stroke is very high. Not to mention students. To train students, not to torture students. This arrangement is absolutely the most appropriate. So the whole morning, the students spent in standing military posture. By the time the training was over, some students had already fainted. The physical quality of these students is very poor. Even if they have attribute blessings, they can't hold it. However, those with good physical fitness are in good spirits. It's no different from no training at all. The instructor didn't want to say anything about it. They have come up with the training program 2 days later, but they still can't help these students. Fortunately, some students gave face and could not hold on. Otherwise, you can't really hang on your face. When the training was over, Yi Feng just came out of the administrative building. As he passed by, he heard several instructors talking. Old Li, how is your team? Don't mention it. I have come up with a training program 2 days later, but the effect is not very good. Me too. The first time I stood in a military position for half an hour, it was like nothing. Hey, Pharaoh, I remember that the first time you stood for half an hour, this person was paralyzed. Can you please stop talking about it? Laozi is ashamed. It's really strange. How can the physical fitness of this class of students be so good? Yi Feng heard all these words. After listening, a smile appeared on his face. If something like this happens, it must be the attributes of the stadium that take effect. It's just that these attributes are a bit strong. On the first day, the instructor took out the training program 2 days later. However, Yi Feng didn't care. The instructor will certainly not be embarrassed by a group of students. Will definitely increase the training volume in the future. This is only good for the students, not cherished. What's more, the stadium can also increase the training effect. Because of the schedule, students have enough break time at noon. If the old practice is followed, the students are now spread out on their beds. But now, everyone is alive and kicking. Even the students who were tired at noon have recovered. The students are in good spirits, and naturally they will not stay in the dormitory safely. So the whole campus is still very lively. Captain Shen had lunch and was ready to go back to the dormitory to rest. But seeing the students all in high spirits made him frown. This was not the result he wanted at all. The fact that such a situation occurs can only mean one thing. The instructors relax. If you release water like this, the training effect will not be achieved at all. This made Captain Shen very angry. Before they came, there was an order from above. The military training plan must be strictly implemented, and things cannot be dealt with. This is the first day this happened. How could Captain Shen not be angry? So he went back to the dormitory with a dark face. Downstairs, he blew the assembly whistle. 2 minutes later, everyone was standing downstairs neatly. Who can tell me what's going on? The water is released on the first day, and whether there is discipline. Captain Shen said very angrily. But after hearing this sentence, all the instructors were stunned. What happened? When did they drain the water? But now the captain is angry, and they dare not refute. Before I came, I was emphasizing that this year must be strict. You dare to violate it. Do you want to be punished? Old Li, get out of the queue. Captain Shen said very angrily. Yes, Lao Li stood up, but when he stood up, there was still a look of doubt on his face. Old Lee, what's the situation? Why did you release water in the military training today? Captain Shen asked sternly. Report, Captain, we didn't release water. Old Lee answered firmly. No water. The students are running vigorously outside. You tell me this is what it looks like after training? Captain Shen asked. Participated in several military trainings. He is very clear. The first day of military training is the most tiring time. Suddenly participating in training, the body also has a process of adaptation. The first day will definitely be uncomfortable and feel very tired. After a few days, you will get used to this training. The body also adjusts back. According to the strict training method, the students will never be what they are now. It would be fine if 1 or 2 students were running outside. But most of the students in the school are so spiritual. Could it be that the physical quality of all the students in the school can be so good? This is simply impossible, especially freshmen. They have just passed the college entrance examination. I spent all my high school time studying. Very few people keep exercising. Physical fitness is generally not very good. Of course, except for sports. Students can do it now. The instructors must have released water. Hearing Captain Shen's reprimand, Lao Li himself felt very innocent. Captain, when I was training today, I already took out the training items for 2 days later, and I started every 40 minutes in the military posture. But the physical fitness of the students is very good, nothing is wrong. We all came according to the requirements, not only did not release water, but also increased the amount of training. Old Lee explained helplessly. What can he do? It is necessary to consider both the training effect and the safety of students. This degree is really hard to handle. Is it okay to stand in a military posture for 40 minutes? Old Lee, isn't your watch broken? Captain Shen was deeply skeptical of this result. Even students with good physical fitness cannot stand in a military posture for 40 minutes. After all, without training, the body will not adapt. Captain, I'm looking at the phone, how could it be broken? I can't say that there is nothing wrong. In the team I led, there was a sick seedling that fell down in 30 minutes. Old Lee explained. Can a sick seedling last for 30 minutes? He remembered that when he first received training, it was not yet this time. He was even worse than a sick seedling. What a shame to ride a horse. Captain Shen was puzzled. Did you make a mistake? Are you in the same situation? Captain Shen looked at the other instructors. Yes, everyone shouted in unison. This made Captain Shen even more puzzled. It was the first time he had encountered such a thing. Report, my request to increase training volume. Lao Li stood in front and said. According to the current situation, if the students do not increase the amount, the majesty of their instructors will not stand up. This must be approved by the captain. Otherwise, they wouldn't dare to add too much. There are also restrictions on instructors. This is to prevent the instructors from taking private revenge. The amount added today is already the limit of their rights. Captain Shen did not directly agree. The specific situation is unclear. He needs to observe it for himself before he can decide. After all, he is also responsible for the students. We'll talk about this later. Disband. After Captain Shen finished speaking, he left. 3 in the afternoon. The students gathered at the training venue on time. As soon as they entered the stadium, they felt very comfortable. It was as if all the fatigue in the body had disappeared. The whole person is more spiritual. Soon, the instructors came. At the stadium, they each went to their own team. Get your team sorted and start training. Stand in the military posture, 40 minutes, everyone has it, stand at attention. The instructors gave orders. The students are very serious. The body stood up straight. The training effect added by the stadium also has a bonus to the standing military posture. At this point, the students' standing is already very standard. Seeing this, the instructors were also very satisfied. Although it did not establish prestige in the hearts of students. But the training effect is still very good. Just when the training started, Captain Shen brought people to the stadium. Instead of running around, he looked at a team standing in a military posture. At the same time he started timing. 10 minutes. 20 minutes. Half an hour. Until the end of a round of military posture. 40 full minutes. He only saw fatigue on the faces of a few students in the team. Other students didn't seem to feel much. Are students in such good health? At the same time, Captain Shen is considering increasing the amount of training. After the first day of training, Captain Shen issued a notice. The amount of military training has been increased by 50%. In other words, standing in the military posture tomorrow is an hour to start. After receiving this notice, the instructors felt comfortable. It feels like they are coaxing a child today. There is no passion for training at all. They also get more comfortable with more training volume. To increase the amount of training for students, this needs to be explained to the school. After all, it has a lot to do with the school. At this time, Captain Shen's instructions were already placed on Yifeng's desk. After Yifeng saw it, he didn't have any opinion. Students with good physical quality are only good for the school and not bad. And just like that, without the students' knowledge, the burden is heavy again. However, if you train like this, after 20 days, their physical fitness must have more than doubled. Yifeng also gave them a chance. A good body is stronger than anything else. And, even if you increase your training volume, you don't have to be very tired. Students train every day and their physical fitness is also improving. The amount of training that can be tolerated is also increasing. Unless the training volume explodes, it's not a big problem. Moreover, the situation of sudden increase is impossible. Just as the instructors planned to increase the amount of training, the students were also discussing military training. Most colleges and universities start military training on this day. It can be seen that all the high school groups are full of complaints. The classmates were crying in the group about the dark tactics of the instructors. It's so painful to stand in the military position, I can't get out of bed now. I strongly demanded a change of instructor, it was so cruel, my feet were blistered. You guys are all right, there is a girl in our class standing in a military posture and crying. Our instructor is even more cruel, just because I didn't call the report, let me stand for 10 more minutes. 10 minutes, do you know how I spent these 10 minutes? Seeing the various crying in the high school group, the students of Mond University were surprised. What's wrong with standing for 10 minutes? When Mond students train, mistakes are often made. Penalty is half an hour to start. But I didn't feel anything. Why is it that everyone in the group looks like they are going to die? A student from Mond said in the group that he stood for an hour on the first day. But no one believed it at all. Today, everyone experienced what it's like to stand in a military posture. An hour is definitely bragging. Even if it's a sports student, half an hour is in the sky. Among all the colleges and universities in the country, only the students of Mond University feel that military training is not terrible. If you want to publish a set of data, the military training attendance rate at Mond University is definitely the highest in the country. Except for a few students with special circumstances, all the students of the University of Mond were present. The instructors also felt this point. At Mond University, they found some sense of being in the army. This allows them to let go. It will not be the same as before, everything has to take care of students. In Mond this bondage is much smaller. The next day, the students get up at 5 o'clock. Training starts at 6 o'clock. So early in the morning, the whole campus was shouting. Yifeng was living in the school and was awakened by the shouting. After he woke up, he didn't go back to sleep. Since he became the principal, his daily routine has become a lot more regular. After washing up, Yifeng walked around the campus. Soon, he came to the stadium. On the outside, watching thousands of students training, reminded him a little of his military training. Although I was very tired at that time, I also have deep memories. Among the universities, military training is one of the most profound ones. Because in military training there is never just training. Just as Yifeng was recalling, Captain Shen came over. Today is the first day of increasing the training volume, and he is going to watch it. Unexpectedly, they met Yifeng. Principal Yi, are you coming to inspect too? Captain Shen asked Yifeng. Yifeng turned around and saw that it was Captain Shen. Captain Shen, I just came to see. Let's go together then. Captain Shen invited Yifeng. Yifeng was not polite either. So the two entered the stadium together. A principal, an instructor captain. The two bosses patrolled, and all the students cheered up. Yifeng felt very relieved to see the students so serious. Students must have passion in order to create more honors for the school. Students are always the key to what a school can develop into. Otherwise, no matter how luxurious the construction is, it is only superficial. Principal Yi, you are a good student this year. Captain Shen commented sincerely. He has gone to many schools for military training. There are not many students who can compare with the students of Mond University. He didn't say grades, and he couldn't see grades. Just this mentality alone is enough to see the quality of a student. Not even a student at a top university can do it. Thank you, Captain Shen, for your affirmation. Yi Feng was quite happy to hear the chief instructor's comment. The two walked around the stadium. Captain Shen has determined that there is no problem in increasing the training volume. The students stood in the military posture for an hour, and their bodies were already tired. But all within the normal range. In this way, the training effect can be achieved and the health of the students can be guaranteed. Captain Shen, have you had breakfast? Let's go together. It was already 7 o'clock in the morning, and Yi Feng felt hungry after turning around. So he invited Captain Shen. Captain Shen saw that the inspection was almost done, so he agreed. After a while, the two came to the nearest restaurant. Mond University has 4 large restaurants, each in different directions. However, because the school's students have not all started school, so only 2 are open. Yi Feng bought 2 fried dough sticks and a bowl of soy milk at the restaurant. As for Captain Shen, he brought a lot back. For occupational reasons, it is normal to eat more. Yi Feng ate at the school restaurant for the first time and wanted to try it. He took a bite of the churros. The taste is normal. Yi Feng gave an evaluation in his heart. Not bad, normal restaurant level. But just as Yi Feng's thoughts appeared, a systemic voice appeared in his ears. The restaurant was given a bad review by the host and is being automatically upgraded. The automatic upgrade is successful. Taste plus 3.0, cleaning plus 3.0, health plus 2.0, dry rice plus 2.0. Hearing the system's voice, Yi Feng was stunned for a moment. This restaurant is too sunere. Give a bad review and it will be automatically upgraded. However, Yi Feng liked it very much. So quickly checked the system upgrade content. Just as Yi Feng was checking the several attributes obtained by the restaurant, he heard a voice beside him. Hey, today's steamed buns are good, how good is the taste? Captain Shen said with some surprise. He had breakfast here just yesterday. I didn't feel anything special, but today's breakfast was exceptionally delicious. He ate the whole bun in 2 mouthfuls. Sure enough, it wasn't an illusion, the taste today was completely different from yesterday. Principal Yi, the restaurant has changed chefs today. Captain Shen asked Yi Feng. The chef has not changed. It may be the first time the chef cooked here yesterday, and he was not used to it. Yi Feng explained to Captain Shen. Of course, the reason is that he made up. As for the real reason, it must be related to the restaurant upgrade. Among the attributes obtained by upgrading, there is an increase in taste. Yi Feng also had some doubts about the attributes obtained by the restaurant. He can understand the 3 attributes of taste, cleanliness and health. But what the hell is the last dry rice attribute? However, Yi Feng soon understood. Captain Shen didn't care whether the chef was not used to it, as long as it was delicious. So he used the fastest speed to solve the 8 steamed buns, 4 fried dough sticks, and a bowl of soy milk in front of him. Just when Yi Feng thought he was going to end, Captain Shen came to Baozi's window again with a dinner plate. Boss, another 10 buns and 4 fried dough sticks. Captain Shen said to the window boss. 10 more. The boss was stunned. I have eaten 8 just now, why are you still eating? This is not a small steamed bun, but a real big bun. 2 or 3 ordinary students are full. Captain Shen can understand even if he is tall and big and eats 8. But can I finish eating 10 more? However, the boss did not ask much. So I took a copy according to Captain Shen's request. Seeing that Captain Shen came back with another pile of buns, Yi Feng fell silent. He finally knew what the attributes of dry rice were. Yi Feng didn't laugh at Captain Shen for eating too much. He also wanted to try it out and see what it tasted like now. When Yi Feng tasted the fritters again, sure enough, the taste is completely different. It's still the same fritter, but it feels completely different. As expected of the system, it is awesome. Yi Feng also began to feast on it. After eating, he couldn't help but take another one. I even want to get a third one. Fortunately he was in control. Captain Shen was finally full after eating 10 buns. Then I saw his satisfied look on his face. Principal Yi, where did you hire the chef in this restaurant? The craftsmanship is really good. Captain Shen praised. Having eaten in so many restaurants, this is the first time I have felt this way. If possible, he wanted to stay. Not for anything else, but to be able to eat in the dining hall of Mond University. I really don't know about the chef, you can ask yourself. I still have work, so let's go first. Yi Feng didn't want to stay any longer. After a while, his thoughts of wanting to cook became stronger. Although it has the attributes of a restaurant, it will not last at all, nor will it cause damage to the body. But Yi Feng didn't like this feeling. It's okay if you don't know what attributes are. But now that I know it, it feels different. Captain Shen did not keep Yi Feng. He is now debating whether to eat another portion. After Yi Feng left the restaurant, he went directly to the restaurant management teacher's office. Principal, here you are, sit down. After seeing Yi Feng, the restaurant management teacher quickly stood up from the seat to entertain. No, I'll just say one thing. Make more meals for lunch today. Yi Feng reminded the restaurant owner. The food taste of the restaurant has been improved, and the dry rice attribute has also been blessed. The demand for food at noon is sure to skyrocket. If you don't prepare in advance, it is very likely that some students will not be able to eat. Coupled with the fact that students are tired from training, they may need more energy. To sum up, today the restaurant needs to prepare more. The restaurant management teacher couldn't help but be stunned when he heard Yi Feng's reminder. Asking the principal to come in person, I thought it was a big deal. During military training, the restaurant will increase the amount of food production. Even if he didn't say it, the chef in the restaurant would prepare more. He dared not say these words. If you fight against the principal, what good results can you get? Okay, I'll let you know. The management teacher happily agreed. It's not a matter of conveying an order. Yi Feng didn't know the idea of managing teachers. The reason why I made a trip in person was because it was not easy to explain. After speaking, Yi Feng left. The management teacher was also very obedient and sent messages to the person in charge of each window. However, the person in charge of the window understood that it was the same as during the military training in previous years, and did not think much about it. 10 o'clock at noon. The students are off. However, instead of going to the restaurant, they went back to the dormitory. It's not time for dinner, why don't you go back and take a shower? It's been so long after all. The instructors went directly to the restaurant in order to stagger with the students. As soon as we entered the restaurant, everyone felt that the restaurant seemed to be different. But it's different there, and I can't tell. However, no one cared too much. So they went to the window to get food. Bun window. A dozen instructors are lining up. Boss, 5 meat buns. Old Li, who was at the top of the line, said to the boss. The boss knows that these are instructors and can eat them. Without saying anything, he gave Lao Li 5 buns. When Lao Li got the buns, he ate and prepared to leave. But as soon as he took a bite, he stopped. Old Li, when you're finished, leave quickly. We're still waiting. The instructor behind urged, but Lao Li ignored them and continued to look at the buns window boss and said. Boss, what is this? The boss was a little confused, but he still replied, Bun, what's the matter? How many did I just want? 5. Lao Li looked at the steamed bun in his hand, then I'll have 5 more. After speaking, as if rushing to eat, he reached out and grabbed the 5 buns and put them in the lunch box. This time, the boss was completely stunned. How can people eat so much today? Not long ago, Captain Shen ate 5 more after Yi Feng left. The boss almost didn't dare to buy it. Now comes another one. The boss is really scared. Lao Li, have you finished eating? Yes, if the captain knows that you are wasting, but you will be punished. Take it easy, don't implicate us. Several instructors looked at Lao Li questioningly. Don't make a fuss, since I want it, I will definitely finish it. Old Li glanced at the instructors behind him. Thought in my heart. You guys laugh, wait and see how I laugh back. Since Lao Li insisted so much, the boss had no choice. So I got 5 more for him. After Lao Li got the steamed buns, he didn't leave, just waited while eating. Soon, The second instructor also asked for 5 buns. So the picture plays out again. After 1 bite, asked for 5 more. Today's buns are so delicious. No wonder Lao Li wants so much. The instructors behind were dumbfounded. How is this going? Are the buns drugged today? Next, the third, the fourth, until the 7th, all joined Lao Li's camp. It's not that the 8th person doesn't want it. But the bag is gone. Boss, the meat is gone, can I do the elements? The 8th instructor began to negotiate terms with the boss. It's really gone, it was taken away by the person just now. The boss is really about to cry. He was afraid that these would beat him for a few buns. How long will it take to make it? The instructor still didn't want to give up. Seeing the 7 people next to him eating so deliciously, he felt very aggrieved. Why are you eating so much today? It's so hard to eat a bun. Today, I won't do it today. The boss said nervously. He is the breakfast window and won't do it again. It's almost noon, it's time for lunch. Even if some classmates wanted to eat buns at noon, he had enough leftovers. But now all 7 people have taken it. Can't do it again for a few people. It's not worth it in terms of time. The instructors lining up behind were hopeless. Seeing the proud Lao Li and others, they can only go to other windows. But when they went, they found that all the breakfast shops had been swept up. Not even a bit of scum left. This made several instructors dumbfounded. Are you crazy today? Everyone ate twice as much. No way, no matter what, it was surprisingly delicious today. I ate so much without realizing it. If they don't remind them, they haven't found it yet. All the instructors who had eaten went back to rest. The remaining instructors who have not eaten can only wait. In half an hour, we will have lunch. So 10 people sat at the dining table and waited, and no one was in the mood to speak. Finally, half an hour passed. The various windows for lunch began laying out meals. The instructors rushed out at the fastest speed. No matter what kind of dish it is, make one first. Return to the table after finishing the meal. When they took their first bite, they instantly understood why the people in front had eaten so much. Today's meal was really delicious. There is a huge difference between yesterday's and today's. Definitely the restaurant has changed chefs. Otherwise, how could the taste be so different? However, now there is simply no time to think why it is so delicious. After eating the first portion, I went straight to the second portion without thinking about it. After eating the third portion, they are satisfied. At the same time, I decided in my heart that I must run faster tomorrow. They didn't want to wait so long. At this time, students began to come to the restaurant one after another. The instructors didn't stay and left directly. Not long after they left, there were bursts of exclamations in the restaurant. Why is the food so delicious today? That's right, I seriously doubt that the cook didn't come yesterday, and Aunt Sweeper cooked the meal. I really love this school, it's a foodie's paradise. Eat well when you eat. What are you doing with my dishes? When will we be good enough to eat one dish? Wear open crotch pants together, but don't let them eat, they're not brothers. Brother, break up. In the dining hall, students have discovered the difference in today's meal. So start fighting. It's rare to have one meal at a time. Both start with 2, because after a meal, the window was found to be empty. While there are still dishes, I will make 2 servings first. Otherwise, we can only wait 10 minutes for the new dish to come out. And it's not always possible to get it. The students didn't have enough to eat, but the cooks were busy. The restaurant has 3 floors up and down, and 60 chefs are not enough to eat. Not only this one restaurant, the 2 large restaurants of Mond University have the same scene. As soon as the chef cooked the dishes and was about to take a break, he started urging. It was robbed as soon as it came out. It's so weird today. It's a good start, but it's still going. Soon, trouble arose. It's not that the chef can't stir fry, it's that there are no ingredients. I couldn't find a single chopped green onion in the kitchen. Make bricks without straw. No matter how good the cooking is, it is useless without the ingredients. There is really no other way but to report it to the school. Restaurant management teacher's office. Mr. Joe, don't go to dinner yet. A teacher in the office asked. Wait a while, it's the students' meal time, there's no need to fight with the students. The restaurant management teacher Joe said very calmly. Just then, the phone on his desk rang. Teacher Joe picked up the phone and connected the call. What happened to the restaurant? Okay, I'll be there soon. There was a cold sweat on Teacher Joe's forehead. It's better that it's not the student who has the accident, otherwise his responsibility will be great. Without any hesitation, Teacher Joe rushed to the restaurant as quickly as possible. By the time he got to the restaurant was already empty. There were no students at all. On the windows, there was nothing, not a single bit of vegetable residue left. How is this going? What happened? Teacher Joe was dumbfounded. I have never seen such a scene. The restaurant now looks like it's been ransacked again. Teacher Joe casually found a window and asked what was going on in the restaurant. After a while, he was clear. The food prepared by the restaurant was not enough. Many students do not have enough to eat. After it was clear, Teacher Joe felt even more uneasy. He already remembered the words of the headmaster. Prepare some more meals. It turned out not some, but many. This happened because of my own negligence. I'm afraid it's not good to be explained by the school. Thinking of this, Teacher Joe was even more worried. But okay, just a lunch. There is still a chance to save. So he called and asked the restaurant's food supplier to quickly deliver the dishes. And especially emphasized, to send more. Direct delivery for 2 days. The same cannot happen at dinner. Otherwise, not only the school is unwilling, but the students are also unwilling. Determined about the ingredients, Teacher Joe began to think. Why does this happen? Even because of military training, the students will eat more. But not so much. And it seems that the principal knows the situation. After thinking about it for a long time, I still can't figure it out. Suddenly, his stomach growled. It was only then that he remembered that he didn't seem to have eaten. Is there anything to eat? Several window bosses around Teacher Joe asked. But everyone shook their heads. Now the kitchen is completely empty and there is nothing to eat. There is no other way. Teacher Joe can only go to the supermarket to buy 2 packs of instant noodles. Fortunately, supermarkets survive more. Otherwise, it will be bought by students. Principal's office. Yi Feng opened the packing box on the table. Inside are meals packed from restaurants. Fortunately, he went early, otherwise there would be no food to eat today. But he was very relieved to see the scene of the students cooking. Students, you should eat more. It's time to grow your body. And the restaurant is the school's business. Students spend more, and it can also bring benefits to the school. Simply kill 2 birds with 1 stone. This restaurant upgrade is very good. The military training will continue in the afternoon. During the military training, the instructors found that many students were listless. I didn't care at first, I thought it was because I didn't wake up. But after training for a while, the state is even worse. Someone always makes mistakes. This made the instructors a little angry. Everyone cheered up. What did each one look like? Didn't you eat? The instructor reprimanded the students. Report. In the line, a student shouted. Speak. The instructor looked at the students in the last row. Instructor, I really didn't eat. When I went to the restaurant at noon, the food was already robbed by a bunch of animals. The student said, and looked at the classmates next to him with resentful eyes. That's his roommate. Agreed to help him pack one. By the end, I was full, and I didn't even pack the vegetable dregs back. He had no choice but to run to the restaurant by himself. As a result, the restaurant was already empty. He ran all over the 2 cafeterias of the school, but he still didn't have a meal. The classmates next to him felt very embarrassed. In the face of that situation, who can think of packing? It's good to be able to eat on your own. Cough cough, train hard, and run faster when you eat in the afternoon. After the instructor heard it, he coughed twice. When it comes to grabbing food, they are definitely the first batch. I ate a lot today. People who eat a lot think that today's food is delicious. No one knows, it's because of the restaurant. After knowing what was going on, the instructor couldn't say anything. Only slightly reduce the training intensity. 20 days of military training is not bad for this afternoon. While the students were training for the military, an uninvited guest came to Mond University. The school gate. Director Wang of Zunyang University came here. He came here to investigate the situation at Mond University. Feng Dahai has urged several times. Today I finally found time to explore Mond University. This time, He didn't ask his old friend about it. Instead, prepare for an unannounced visit. But as soon as he reached the gate, he was stunned. Although it is still the gate of Mond University, why has it changed so much? It is not that the appearance has changed, but that it has become taller and more majestic. A few years ago, he came to Mond University. Is it rebuilt? Haven't heard of it. This made Director Wong very puzzled. However, he did not stay at the school gate, but directly entered the school. Just a gate, certainly not the reason. Before he could go too long, he stopped again. He has begun to doubt life. Did you go to the wrong school? When did Mond University change so much? Not to mention a lot of buildings, even the old buildings have been renovated again. This requires a lot of money. Mond University is different from Zunyang University. Zunyang University is public and will be supported by many national resources. But Mond is a private school and in many ways needs to pay for itself. Mond lost money last year. Where did the money come from to build a building? Director Wong had no idea what was going on. He didn't leave like this, but continued to stroll around Mond. Visited the whole school. After reading it, he was completely unfamiliar with Mond University. From the gate to the building, nothing looks the same. Compared with Zunyang University, Mond University is not bad at all. Even surpassed in some respects. It's been a while since it's been here, it's changing too fast. No wonder the teachers here are reluctant to go to Zunyang University. If it was him, he was unwilling to go to other schools. How could such a school fail? It will only get better and better. Mond University has always been so low-key, it turned out to be waiting for a blockbuster. It's definitely been planned for a long time. Director Wong felt that he was close to the truth of the matter. Report to the principal immediately. Zunyang University should prepare early. If it is surpassed by Mond University one day, Zunyang University will lose a lot of face. Maybe it will replace the position of Zunyang University in Zunyang City. Director Wong did not want such a thing to happen. After all, it's about his development. Thinking of this, he left Mond University in a hurry. Zunyang University. After Director Wong left from Mond University. When I returned to Zunyang University, I went directly to the president's office. Principal, we have all been lied to. Seeing the principal, Director Wong said excitedly. What's the matter? Didn't you go to investigate Mond University? What's the result? Feng Dahai said a little unhappily. He has been out for 2 days, but Director Wong has no news at all. If Director Wong fails to do well, he will consider whether to change the director. Principal, I have already investigated clearly, this is a conspiracy of Mond University. Director Wong explained in detail what he saw at Mond University. And many photos were taken as evidence. Seeing the photos taken by Director Wong, Feng Dahai's expression changed. The development of Mond University is somewhat beyond his imagination. In the past year, he has heard the most negative reports about Mond University. And a young man in his 20s was the principal. How can such a school have a future? Because of this, he paid little attention to Mond University. I didn't expect such a big change in a year. He felt that he underestimated the young principal of Mond University. If there is no certain ability, it is absolutely impossible to do this. However, he was a little curious. Where does Mond University get its funding? It is impossible to completely change Mond University without 1 billion. Since the establishment of Mond University, there has been a lot of investment every year. After all, it is a new school, without its own heritage. Only gradually improve. To put it bluntly, perfection costs money. Less than 10 years after the establishment of the school, it can become a second-class university. Mond's investment can be imagined. After analysis, Mond University only stopped negative growth 2 years ago. As a result, another accident happened last year. In this case, how could Mond University still have funds? Director Wong, the school has a task for you, can you do it well? Feng Dahai looked at Director Wong. Principal, don't worry, I will do my best for the tasks assigned by the school. Director Wong looked loyal. Okay, then you resign from school now and go to Mond University to be a teacher. Feng Dahai said. No problem, what? Resign. Don't, Principal, I do my best for Zunyang University. After Director Wang heard this, he immediately became anxious. He was the director just a short time ago, and it would be a great loss to resign now. Although Mond University is also good now, but he went to Mond, and there is absolutely no current treatment. Director Wang, I'm asking you to go to Mond to be a teacher for 2 days to check the situation. When everything is clear, you can come back, and the director's position is reserved for you. And for the election of the vice principal tomorrow, I will vote for you. Feng Dahai said to Director Wang. That's it. Director Wang was a little moved. It has taken him 5 or 6 years to get to where he is now. It is impossible to become a vice principal without 10 years. With the support of the principal, it would be different. Headmaster, I promise to complete the task. Director Wang agreed. This is his chance. However, before going to Mond, there are still 2 days of preparation. Time passes day by day. Military training is also on track. However, the most talked about topic at Mond University is not military training. It's the school cafeteria. Since that day, the taste of the restaurant food has greatly increased. Whether it is an instructor or a student, as soon as the training is over, they go straight to the restaurant. It used to be modest, but now it is all about robbing. Of course, there is no shortage of food in the restaurant anymore. With the large increase in the amount of students' dry meals, the income of the school canteen has also grown exponentially. And not by raising prices to increase revenue. There is no need for Yifeng to worry about the military training. But the school has other things unresolved. That's the problem with school teachers. Although now the teacher will not leave Mond University. But a lot has gone before. These positions need to be filled. And the old students are still 2 days away from school. There will be no teachers at that time. So Yifeng began to ask the school's personnel department to issue a recruitment notice. At this time, the director of the school's personnel management was in Yifeng's office. Principal, this is the resume we received, you can see if there are any suitable candidates. Personnel director Lu Feng put a stack of resumes on Yifeng's desk. As for who to recruit, it is up to the principal to decide. But how does Yifeng understand this? Even in his previous life, he was just a fresh graduate. The teachers who apply for these jobs are at least graduate students. Director Lu, you are responsible for checking this matter, and you must recruit talented teachers. Yifeng directly left the matter to Lu Feng. He is not stupid, and someone will naturally use it. Okay, principal. Lu Feng was very happy. If the principal can hand over the task to her, it shows that he trusts her very much. I've made up my mind to do it right. Otherwise, how can it be worthy of this trust? So after Lu Feng left the principal's office, she began to let people contact the teachers who applied for the job. Start applying for jobs in the afternoon. This time, Lu Feng personally checked. Be sure to recruit the right teachers for the school. With the addition of the office efficiency attribute of the administrative building. Before the evening, Lu Feng interviewed all the teachers who applied for it. And select excellent teachers. The organized information of these teachers was handed over to Yifeng together. Before Yifeng got off work, Lu Feng came to the principal's office again. Principal, most of the teachers who apply for the job have already been interviewed, and these materials are all suitable candidates. I'll notify them when you're sure. Lu Feng reports to Yifeng. Yifeng flipped through the information and was very satisfied. This information is very detailed, and even the interview process is recorded. I've seen it and it's fine. You inform these teachers to come to work tomorrow. The new teacher's work arrangement will be handed over to you. Yifeng was very relieved to hand over the work. The administrative building has a sense of belonging, and no teachers will do things that endanger the school. In this way, Yifeng can also relax a lot. Even if it is delegating power, my heart is at ease. The next day, more than a dozen teachers who passed the application came to Mond University. Lu Feng is in charge of receiving these new teachers. Teaching teachers are different from administrative teachers. Teachers in charge of teaching will be arranged in different teaching buildings according to different majors. The teacher in charge of administration works in the administrative building. In this recruitment, there are 10 teachers in charge of teaching and 4 teachers in administrative office. Soon, Lu Feng arranged the offices for the 14 people. And arranged for someone to bring these new teachers. Preliminary work still needs to be understood. Outreach Department. Mr. Wang, you should familiarize yourself with the environment first, and I'll tell you about the specific work arrangements later. The teacher responsible for bringing trust said to the new teacher Wang. Mr. Zhang, I'm really bothering you. The new teacher Wang said politely. After speaking, he began to observe the environment here. Looking at the new environment, a smile appeared on teacher Wang's face. I didn't expect it to get in so easily. Teacher Wang said to himself. That's right, he is Director Wang of Zunyang University, Wang Jianxin. After Feng Dahai gave him the task 2 days ago, Wang Jianxin was ready to find a chance to sneak into Mond University. Coincidentally, he saw Mond's recruitment information. So apply directly. With his years of work experience, applying for an ordinary position is still very simple. This is the first step in breaking into the enemy's interior. As long as he can figure out the internal situation of Mond, the position of the vice principal is just around the corner. Wang Jianxin has begun to imagine a better tomorrow. Just when Wang Jianxin successfully applied for the job. But something happened that surprised Yi Feng. The system sounded inexplicably in his ear. The administrative building was invaded by Undercover from a foreign school and began to automatically upgrade. The administrative building has been successfully upgraded, abandoning the dark and throwing light +20, being responsible and responsible +30. The administrative building has been upgraded again. The reason for the upgrade is, what the hell? Undercover outside school. This is playing infernal affairs. Yi Feng immediately wanted to curse when he saw the reason for the upgrade. Running a school and sending undercover agents. However, what surprised Yi Feng was that the school even had the function of automatically detecting undercover agents. Nice, powerful. Now that he knew there was an undercover agent, Yi Feng couldn't just sit still. This undercover agent has to be found. If the school's secrets are leaked, that's fine. However, does the school have any secrets? Yi Feng thought about it for a while, and it seemed that there was really nothing that needed to be kept secret. Except for things that schools can automatically upgrade. But no one else knew about it except himself. Impossible to leak out at all. After thinking about it for a long time, I didn't understand what the purpose of this undercover agent was. Forget it, let's find out the undercover first. Yi Feng decided to find out this undercover first. At least you need to know the identity of the undercover and which school sent it. It's actually quite easy to find out. The undercover is in the administration building. And it only appeared today. Must be one of the few who just joined. So Yi Feng found out the application materials of several administrative staff. There were only 4 people in total, and the target was quickly locked. Obviously, this person is Wang Jianxin. The director of Zunyang University quit his job and came to the University of Mon to apply for an ordinary position. This undercover is too obvious. Of course, this is knowing that there is an undercover agent. If it wasn't for the system reminder, Yi Feng still didn't know there was an undercover agent. After the confirmation, Yi Feng was ready to inform the personnel and fire Wang Jianxin. But as soon as he picked up the phone, he changed his mind. Because he saw the attribute that the administrative building had just acquired, abandoning darkness and turning to light. This is clearly aimed at undercover. As long as people with impure motives work in this building, they will be subtly changed. Until complete loyalty then Mond University. With this attribute, there is no need for Yi Feng to find people out. Slowly, the undercover agent became his own person. In addition to the attributes of being serious and responsible, there is absolutely no need to worry about the harm of undercover. What's more, this undercover agent used to be a director. There must be some ability. Mond University is in need of capable people. Thinking of this, Yi Feng smiled and didn't care. Outreach Department. Wang Jianxin has already turned over the entire External Relations Department. I have to say that the working environment at Mond University is really good. As far as the current job position is concerned, it is no worse than when he was a director before. Although the salary is slightly lower, it is very comfortable. Moreover, Mond University has not been established for a long time, and there is a lot of room for promotion. When he becomes the director again at Mond University, it will definitely be better than Zunyang University. Unconsciously, Wang Jianxin had the idea of staying in Mond and not leaving. As soon as the idea appeared, even he was surprised. No way. On the first day of being an undercover agent, did you want to betray? No, I have to go back and be the vice principal. Wang Jianxin tried to put aside his own thoughts. Fortunately, the obsession of wanting to become the vice principal is relatively deep, otherwise, he would betray on the spot. Before you know it, the properties of the administrative building began to take effect. Next, Wang Jianxin began to work seriously. Soon, it was noon. Mr. Wang, you are so serious on your first day at work. Teacher Zhang from the same office walked up to Wang Jianxin and said with a smile. Hearing this, Wang Jianxin was stunned for a moment. Yes, why are you working so hard? When he was the director of Zunyang University, he was idle every day. Never worked hard at all. But now it is so serious. And I can't help but want to work. Abnormal, really abnormal. Mr. Wang, let's go to work first, let's go to the restaurant to eat. The teacher next to him said. Eat, so early. Wang Jianxin glanced at the time and found that it was not even 11 o'clock. It's really a bit early to eat now. It's getting late, it's late, but I can only eat leftovers. Teacher Zhang reminded. This is the status quo of Mond University. Wang Jianxin felt very strange. Why do you need to grab a meal? I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.